is the Dean Show.
And we got the legend in the studio. How you doing? Helio Soneca.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Mashallah. All right. For the audience, you know, you always hear me saying that. He said, peace be with you. How you been?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Alhamdulillah. So, a lot to talk about. What I wanted to talk about, Helio, is I wanted to start off with, a little bit of the history, for you started actually training also jiu-jitsu, right? Now, he's been actually training since he was 7 years old.
Yeah, he told me.
He's kind of a hidden gem. Many people, he don't really his history's out there, but we not in HD format. High quality. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How you coming in from Brazil, right?
Yeah, I was in Brazil. I lived 2 months in Brazil and 2 months United States in Louisville, Kentucky.
Now you spent some time in Abu Dhabi, right?
Yes, in beginning of 96.
Yeah. So for all the people who are out there, who train in jiu-jitsu, now when you say Helio Soneca, many of the people from old school, new school, they, you competed a lot. You came up from, even before when they had, many people know Carlos Gracie Jr., you had the Gracie Baja. You were actually one of the founders of that. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Wow. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I started, we have a small group. It was me, Ralph Gracie, Roberto Correia, Gordo, Renzo Gracie, JeanJacques Machado, and his brothers was all instructors, Rickson and Carlos Machado, and also Johnny Machado and I forgot his the other Machado name. Anyway, that's the way we started. The name of the school was Club Gracie that time.
Club Gracie.
Yes.
So this is before it was coined Gracie Baja.
Yes.
Club Gracie. Okay. You mentioned some Holes Gracie was he around at that time?
No, Holes Gracie was in Copacabana. Like Carlos Machado and Riga Machado used to be Holes Gracie students.
Yeah.
And then when Holes Gracie passed away, they become a Carlos Gracie Jr. students. And we are students from the Machado's brothers.
Yeah. Any of these names ring a bell?
I'm still very new to it.
New generation. See, that's why this is important, Helio. For the new guys coming up, they gotta know this stuff. Yeah, these are like some of the roots of a lot of the jiu-jitsu coming from Helio Soneca. You see, some of the teachers that I learned from, he was their teacher, like Marcio Feitosa, right?
Yes.
You taught actually Marcio Feitosa?
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit. Him, Flavio Almeida,
Piu
Piu, all these kids, because I used to teach for the kids.
So they were kids at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get in jiu-jitsu?
I started with 7 years old. I used to fight a lot in school. Like older guys used to kick my butt. Then my uncle brought me to the gym to learn jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so let's start from that beginning. Okay, so your uncle brings you into where? Who was teaching that at that time?
Was a school in Teresópolis, 2 hours from Rio de Janeiro city, is in the mountains. And I was a student from Elias Martins, Geni Rebelo, and Cirilo. Like, it was the best kids school in the world at that time. Then I learned from there. Then with 14 years old, I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, trained at the Club Gracie.
So now who's there? Now it's Club Gracie at that time.
Yes.
This is in Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro, so Barra da Tijuca.
Who's there giving instruction there?
Carlos Machado and Riga Machado.
Carlos Machado and Riga Machado.
Yes.
Okay. And so they're teaching the classes at Club Gracie.
Yeah, and my training partner was Renzo Gracie, Ralph Gracie, JeanJacques Machado, Johnny Machado, Gordo.
So they're also there now.
Yeah.
Okay, they're your same age or older?
JeanJacques and Renzo, little bit older. Gordo, Ralph, more or less my age.
Have you heard of the Machados? Okay, I'll say some names just to bring them up. You've heard of probably Eddie Bravo?
Yeah.
So that they and Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
So they're under, I believe Eddie Bravo
is under JeanJacques Machado.
JeanJacques Machado, right? So, but JeanJacques wasn't there?
JeanJacques was there, was a student like us.
Oh, he was a student like us. So
Yeah.
because Carlo, Higan, and
Carlos.
Carlos, they're the older brothers.
Yes.
Okay, so he's now, if you can imagine that, wow, this is like.
Then then Carlos left first after Higa. Then JeanJacques become our instructor, our main instructor.
So now Higan was competing a lot, right?
Yeah, that time, yes. He
Yeah.
was like amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I know Higan. We've had him here in Chicago. He's come. We've spent some time together. So he was very
Actually, he started with the Club Grace, today Barra Grace competition team. It was his idea.
It was his idea.
Yeah, nobody like compete at that time. Carlos Grace used to not like a competition, and Higa changed the mind.
Yeah. So then what happened? Okay, so now you're there. Carlos Machado. How many Machados? Is 5 brothers?
5 brothers.
5 brothers, right? So now they left. Where did Higan go? Where did
Come to United States.
Oh, they came to the United States. So
I think Higa come first, then after Carlos.
is that when Higan went to? Now he went to Hollywood.
Yes. He's
Yeah.
a Hollywood superstar.
Higan, if you're watching, yes.
Another day, another raspagem.
Yeah. I remember Higan. First time I met him was in Brazil, and he came with Michael Dudikoff. Was it from the American Ninja? This actor.
Yes.
And he brought him to the Gracie camp. We had the Gracie camp there in Brazil, and he came. That's the first time I met Higan. Yeah. Okay, so going back now, so they leave. They both go to America. Carlos Machado also.
Yes.
So now JeanJacques, now he's there, running the
program,
the Gracie Club Gracie. Okay, and then Renzo and Renzo. Health, they're there also teaching or they're
Training.
They're training. Okay, so then what?
And the Renzo teach a little bit too.
Yeah. How about like Rickson and Hoyler? Where were they?
They were in Humaitá. It's like another town. There is another Grace Academy, another lineage. We are from Carlos Grace lineage. Rickson and Hoyler are from Helio Grace lineage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how long now is JeanJacques there teaching?
Couple years.
Couple
Years before he come to United States.
When I
was able to give me my purple, my brown, then he left.
Are you guys around the same age? He's older than you?
Yeah, 3 years older than
3
me.
years older? Okay. But he started training before you?
I don't think so, more or less the same time, but
Yeah.
he was much better than me.
Yeah. So then what happens from there? I remember when I went there at the academy, when I used to train there in Brazil, you had the gym. You go up into the building and you had the gym on one floor, then the academy on the top
Last floor.
Yes. When did you guys move into there? And
Bef-
then they had the Tasmanian Devil there.
Yeah, before it was at the house, is like in the same street. Was a little bit like in the beginning of the street was the gym was just a house, old house they used to rent. Then the guy from the gym, like was the name Espaço Vital, invited us to go there. Then we went there with our students
To the
gym.
To the gym. So what's this? Is this still Gracie Club Gracie?
There is still Club Grace. Become Gracie Barra. No, I believe no. It's become Barra Grace when a friend of us named João Paulo. His nickname Big Head also was one of the best fighter from the gym. Was the best blue belt at that time. He came with a Tasmania Devil t-shirt from his wrestling team. Then we have idea. He went to Flake. Flake was a t-shirt, short company, like surfboard shorts, no? Surfboard shorts, I don't know how to say. And then there you ask to the guy to put that logo in the triangle. And you put Club Grace. And the guy say, Club Grace does not sound nice. Why don't you put Gracie Barra? Oh, yes, nice. Everybody starts like, Then Renzo Grace told, look, you cannot put Gracie Barra because I have a Gracie Maitá from Hoyler. Then you put Barra, Grace. Then we made that time like a 200 sweatshirt, 200 t-shirt. I don't remember the numbers exact. Then you sold everything in 1 or 2 weeks. Then the brand starts. Everybody like that symbol, and sometimes people say, "Oh, look, you cannot put the Tasmania Devil because this the world gonna sue you." Anyway, then but we did, and it became very popular. Then that's become the name, Gracie Barra Gracie, and today Gracie Barra.
So it was flipped. So it was Barra Gracie. Today is Gracie Barra? Or
yes,
or
flip. It was Barra Gracie, then became Gracie Barra.
it was Barra. Barra is just Barra da Tijuca.
Yes, the town in Brazil, in
the
Rio.
town.
A little town in Rio.
Yeah. You ever been to Brazil? Never?
I had the chance, I didn't go.
Yeah.
It was funny because used to be a couple boys, tough
Yeah.
boys,
Uh-huh.
little bit crazy, and we used to fight a lot in the street, and everybody from the neighborhood instead fight against us. They joined the gym to don't get the butt kick. Then they learn jiu-jitsu and it's becoming a champions.
Mhm. That building that I would go train at, did you guys now, once you got the Tasmanian the shirts, with the triangle, the Tasmanian, did you guys move over there?
Yes,
Now you're in this facility. You were there for a long time, right?
long time.
Henzo's still there, and
Yes.
Health, all of them were still training there.
No, still no. Nobody's there anymore.
No more. We're talking about before.
That time, yes.
At that time, yeah.
Probably everybody left from Gracie Barra or Barra Gracie. I left 18 years ago. Probably the guys left 15 years ago. I don't know exact.
But so how did it go from there? How big was the team? How many people were at that time when you changed the name over? Was it a big group training there? Was a lot of guys?
Was not very big like it's now, but was the best quality group.
Yeah.
Like just tough and the technical guys.
Name what's some of the guys that we see this picture often? You know the picture where the big picture.
Yes.
With all the guys?
Soca, Draculino, Gordo, Gordinho, Nino Schwembe, Luciano, a lot of guys. I don't remember everybody's name. Márcio Cruz.
Yeah.
Was a dream team.
Mm-hmm. So then, for the generation that I knew that now started to who I met there in Brazil was Professor Marcio Feitosa. So then, how did he himself, Pepiu, when did they start coming in to the picture? Around what?
Márcio, Piu Piu, they grow up, they become very good, very technical, like a good blue belts, good purple, good brown, good black. I think they start to show up in the beginners 90s.
Uh-huh. So then this is how many years after you guys made the name Barra Gracie? How many years later until they start training? Do you remember?
Maybe they probably they joined when it was Club Gracie. Then 3 years after, they joined when it was already Barra Gracie. I don't know it. I don't know exact.
Was Renzo and Health, were they fighting at that time?
Yes.
They start fighting?
Yeah. MMA.
They start fighting MMA.
Vale tudo that time.
Vale tudo, yeah. Where, in Brazil, or did they come over
Brazil and United States.
here? Yeah. Did they have a strong Valetudo team at that time, or was just
No,
sport jiu-jitsu?
just jiu-jitsu, and we train little MMA, little Valetudo in the gym. Like the reason Gracie Barra is a Gracie Barra because Renzo and the Half Gracie, they and also the Machado's brothers, they are the reason everybody went to train with in the Gracie Barra.
Mm-hmm.
In the Club Gracie that time,
Yeah. So then when did JeanJacques end up leaving? Did he end up, he was there when it's Gracie Barra or Barra Gracie. So when did he go off to open up his own school?
When he moved to the United States.
So he left also.
Yeah.
How much after that did you leave to go to the United States?
I just left the United States 18 years ago.
18 years ago?
2002, 19 years ago.
So then who took over?
My gym?
There in Gracie, Baja Gracie.
I never. I was already with my gym when I left.
Yeah.
I was not the teacher inside the gym.
Mm-hmm. So have you heard of this name, Gracie Baja? Yeah. So this is where he started, and actually he made some great history here because he was many people here, Carlos Gracie Jr. and the Gracie family, but some of the people who are behind much of the history you don't get to hear much about. So a lot of this stuff was new to me. So it's very interesting. Yeah, hearing this. Yeah.
I have a question. You said at one point, I think you were referring to Helio's Gracie. He didn't want to do the competition.
Carlos Gracie.
So
Carlos Gracie Jr. He
so
never liked competition. Then after he started like competition.
So why didn't he like the competition though?
Because the tough guys don't pay the bills.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. So then, how long from there? I mean, how do you when you go? So it's officially that main school where I was going, where they had this team. It's no more, huh?
It's no more.
No more.
No more. I think they move.
They move. They moved that school. It's still in Brazil somewhere, but they move.
They move. It's another building. I don't know where.
Oh, just another building, but it's still great. It's still there in Baja da Tijuca.
Yeah, it's still in Baja da Tijuca.
Yeah.
They have a lot of association everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's a strong team,
Yeah. With me, when I went there for the first time, then I hooked up with Carlos Gracie Jr. with Marcio Feitosa. I was going to the Gracie camp. That's why I said Higan was there the one time. I met Renzo was there, Nelson Montero. All the it would be amazing because you'd go up there and train. And I would never forget because it was, hot outside, but then you go upstairs, they had the fans. And the gi, you'd be soaked. The gi would be all wet. It's like you're carrying an extra now 50, 60 pounds just of all the sweat. And, then you see the first time I was there, I went as a blue belt. And just to be with all the different black belts, world champions, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Yeah. So there was some great memories. I remember. Yeah. And then from there, I became the first American rep for the Gracie Baja. Here in America, because they didn't have a rep at that time, and that's when they started to expand, and go get bigger and bigger. And so that was very, very, very interesting. Very interesting times. Who were some of the most influential people in your life? From
Renzo Gracie.
Renzo Gracie? Yeah.
He's my idol.
Renzo?
It's my guard angel.
Yeah? Yeah. Well, you beat him to it, actually, because you beat him on the show before. We had a date, set up everything. He was here. He's been here to our academy. He's visited. And we had a show set up. He just got busy, but you came on before him, so hopefully we'll get him next. Yeah. His health also. He's very, very nice. People, get sometimes you see health, very aggressive and always fight, but he's, as you know, big heart, right?
Wonderful person.
Yeah. Very nice and humble. Yeah. When you get to know him and meet him. Yeah. You got, how about the brother who passed away? Were you close with him?
Oh yeah, he's my passion, my love.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We used to fight a lot against each other, but I love him.
Yeah. So
he's still alive for me.
Mm-hmm. So Renzo was the biggest inspiration for you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Did they have?
I try act like Renzo Gracie.
Yeah.
But I cannot. I don't have the same charisma.
Yeah. Have you heard of this name, Renzo? Yeah. So these are some of the. Then you have Rickson. Did you?
I was just thinking about him.
You were thinking about him? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to meet Rickson?
Oh yes, bunch of times. Very
Yeah.
nice guy, very polite,
Yeah.
amazing fighter.
Mm-hmm. Now, it was interesting to learn that you yourself, I mean, you were fighting in what weight division? 129?
125, 129. I don't remember exact.
And you were one of the only guys that actually fought at your weight division. That's a big jump. I mean, absolute. And then you won from blue belt, purple, all the way to black belt. Tell us about some
Black, I
of these.
took second place, but
Uh-huh.
I won. Yeah, I did some. I like fight against big boys. I used to like.
Yeah,
I like challenge myself.
yeah.
Then I went there to fight the open class. It's no compromise. If I win, I'm a hero. If I lose, I'm just a small guy.
Yeah. Who from when you were used to compete at that time, was it were you competing like weekly or monthly or regularly? You were
Depends. Was not like probably was like 5 tournaments a year
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know, because here now you got like
every
Back-
weekend.
every weekend. How was it back then with the tournament?
Was like each 2 months, maybe 3 months, depends. And the 2 strong tournaments a year.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who was you were probably would you say one of the most active? Like Hegan was very active with the competitions.
That time, yes, was.
Who else? Who were some of the most active in?
Was Rickson, was JeanJacques, was Renzo, everybody from
Yeah.
the gym. All my training partners, we used to
Everybody?
fight a lot.
But-
That the time, Carson Gracie gym was the strongest gym in the world,
Carlson Gracie,
Yeah, Carson Gracie.
senior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carson Gracie is school.
Yeah.
Carson Gracie Academy.
They had the strongest team.
Yeah. Was
But how many teams were there? You had. was
A
there-
bunch of teams,
Yeah?
like over 100 teams, 200 teams.
But what was the source always went back to, because you have the 2 lines. You have Carlos Gracie Sr., Helio Gracie. So all these other schools.
have the father lineage too. Was the guys from the Brazilian suburbs. Strong guys, so good with ankle locks,
Yeah.
very flexible guys.
Uh-huh.
Today is the Nova União.
Tell us about who are they? The Novion.
Nova União and the GF team, they are from the father lineage.
Whose lineage? Lineage?
Father, master father.
Who's
Is
that?
another guy learning jiu-jitsu beside the Gracie family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who did he learn from?
He learned from the same guy. I don't know the history very well, but
Yeah.
I believe the same Japanese guy
Oh, yeah?
teach for Helio.
See, I never. You don't hear.
Yeah.
It. Yeah, I never heard this. So you had another also was teaching jiu-jitsu.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but he teach for suburbs.
Suburb. Like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I got a question for you. What do you think today about the combat jiu-jitsu, where you could like strike the face and everything?
I think it's nice. Always was like this.
Yeah.
Yes, always like this. But it's different. Like it's if you're gonna fight a punch in the face or kick, you don't need to have rules. You need to fight like you fight in the street.
Kind of like MMA, right?
MMA is just a game. You cannot kick the guy face, put the hand in the floor.
Yeah.
That's become a sport too.
So you're referring to Vale too, though?
Yes, I'm fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How we call in Brazil, this is a Nutella. Nutella, the chocolate there.
Were you around when I've heard Rickson talk about many of the stories at that time? You see the fights on the Pepe Beach. When he smacked the one guy and
Hugo Duarte.
Yeah, were you there?
Yes.
You were there.
Yes.
Tell us what happened. So you're a first-hand account. You were at the beach when this happened.
Was amazing.
Tell us what happened.
Oh man, it was a fight everywhere. Was funny.
Yeah. Who was this guy?
This guy was from Luta Livre, a very tough guy, very honorable man,
Yeah.
and used to be our enemy. Like Is a style started to be stronger in Brazil. Then they thought they were the better. It was like a jiu-jitsu, but no gi. Then start the problems. Like two big teams start to fight against each other.
Mm-hmm. And what was the what for the people that don't know about this situation? What was the end result? What happened?
The BJJ won.
Uh-huh.
The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu won.
He was much bigger than Rickson, right?
Yes, but it was not a competition for Rickson.
No. Then
No.
Rickson took him down.
Yeah,
And
easy.
Yeah, and then he mounted him.
Yeah, but the other guy was with him. Eugenio Tadeu was a very tough guy.
Which one?
The black guy, Eugenio Tadeu, he fought too. He fought against Renzo. He fought against Helio. He fought against the first jiu-jitsu against the first Vale Tudo. He fought and he won. He beat the jiu-jitsu guy. He beat Renan Pitangui. Was a tough guy, Eugenio Tadeu.
Is that he was like a shorter, stocky guy?
Yeah, very
Yeah?
tough, amazing.
Is that where they had in the stadium and then the fight, everything exploded?
No, that one was Renzo against him.
Oh, that's when Renzo fought him.
Yeah, but Renzo was control him all the time. But in the end, Renzo got a little bit tired, but was well. The ring supposed to fall was bad.
The what?
The ring was not very. Something weird happened with the ring. Supposed to
Yeah.
fall.
But was there?
Could kill people.
Were you there at this fight?
Yes,
Yeah?
I was everywhere.
Wow.
I was there when all problems happened.
There was at that one. It was like a riot. Was there a riot?
Ryan.
Riot. Like if the outside of the ring, it spilled over to outside, and people
Yeah.
start fighting.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what happened? I mean, from
I
there.
punched some people punch me, kick me. Then they come the police and finish.
For the ancient old question, gi versus no gi. You see a lot of when people come to you and ask you, like a lot of times people maybe they don't want to train with the gi. They have this
Start
debate.
with gi. Take a minimum 2 or 3 years with gi to after take the gi off and then start training no gi.
Mm-hmm. And if someone you were gonna ask.
And you were saying that you like Muay Thai as well.
Yeah, I like Muay Thai. I like box. I like all kind of martial arts. I think we need to learn basic from everything.
Mhm.
But jiu-jitsu my
That's
main
your heart.
thing.
That's your
Yeah.
heart.
Jiu-jitsu
So-
my religion.
I got you. Now the question that I have is, what if you have someone who's over here like a striker, and you know they love Muay Thai, and they'll say that Muay Thai is the best martial art.
It's okay, his choice.
Yeah.
I like the gray color. I don't mind if you like the black.
Yeah.
It's everybody, you know.
So-
It's the most important. I respect your wish and you respect my wish.
Yeah. That is true. Now you did say that you started when you were 7 years old, so and it was just kind of like what was available at the time for you. So now that you've been training it for over 40 plus years, you say that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like your favorite. It's the best. Like people should definitely go there. Like if someone were to ask you, you're definitely like on the side of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So like, what would you tell someone if they wanted to hear why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is better than the other martial arts?
Because you prove to the world, we kick everybody's butt in the world to prove Jiu-Jitsu was the best martial art in the world. I don't know if you remember Royce Gracie. He spanked everybody and showed Jiu-Jitsu the best martial art in the world. If you don't do Jiu-Jitsu, you are dead. It's like you are a tiger, you are a lion inside the shark tank. You cannot survive.
So you were there at that time, and now my question is: a lot of people say that was fake, that it was like some kind of like thing that they ran so that they could get people to come and train the martial art. Since you were there, like, what do you think?
They thought it was fake because nobody saw a guy with 35 pounds control guys with 300 pounds so easy and make the guys tap, give up, That's used to look fake, but everybody who is know Jiu-Jitsu, who is try Jiu-Jitsu, this mean like a example, today you have a lot of Muay Thai guys, like professional Muay Thai, like the best in the world. like Adesanya, like the New Zealand guy, the UFC world champion.
Yeah.
He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu because he know if he does not know jiu-jitsu, he cannot survive. But his main fight is he's a Muay Thai guy. You know what I mean? But he know he need the jiu-jitsu. Except I don't need another martial art to fight. But the Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, karate, they need the jiu-jitsu to fight. I don't need.
Yeah, just going off that, it's there would be always those ancient old debates, like if you put karate up against kung fu or boxing up against this art, and it was a lot of theories. But then what they did, the Gracie, this was a beautiful thing, is now they said, come, let's try, so they had the challenge matches. And then it all the way led up to the UFC. So then it would lead up to there, and you used to see all the different styles, put in there. And the thing was, everyone was trained standing up, but then it's just natural that you're going to clinch. You can, just like two boxers. You get two boxers. How many times the referee has to split them up because they always just naturally grabbing each other.
Yeah.
And that's where
Like a school fights, always go to the ground.
always goes to the ground. Yeah. And that's when then you're in the water. Yeah. You gotta know how to swim. Yeah. So I always say it's the one-stop shop. If you want to learn the most effective, most proven, most effective martial art, then I say this is the Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before I got into it, but then when I first did it, I got humbled. Big
We
time.
prove, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we Brazilians, we kick the world butt. We spank everybody to prove Jiu-Jitsu was the best martial art. If it was not us, the Brazilian, Americans still believe Bruce Lee was true.
Wait, so Bruce Lee? What do you know about Bruce Lee?
Everybody thought Kung Fu was the main thing. And it's not.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like his whole Jeet Kune Do.
But Bruce Lee, just in closing, before we conclude, in some of his literature, you can see him. He was thinking already on the ground. You know what I mean? He was evolving.
He was a smart guy, no?
Yeah. So he knew that.
That's the reason he's the legend.
Yeah. Thank you very much for
Thank
sharing
you,
some
guys.
of this history with us. That much of the world, hopefully now we got it in HD. So some people who are from the Gordos, the Helfs, the Henzos, and their students and others, they can kind of start, and the Machados students, people can look to this, and they can see some of the roots, of their teachers and some of the history. So it's not forgotten.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum.